Are you ready yet?
Are you ready yet? Julia just emailed me the other day and said, if I miss church, can I see it as a download somewhere? And I said confidently, yes. It's on Facebook. I mean, it's on YouTube. Are we going?
Yep.
All right.
All right, it's on YouTube.
We're grateful for those of you who are willing to try something a little bit different 4 or 5 times a year when we have a 5th Saturday of the month where we celebrate and worship Saturday night so that Sunday you have a chance to do whatever brings you closer to God without thinking that worship is only on Sunday morning. So we're glad you're here. She doesn't have to be.
Don't worry, Mom.
This is our second edition, and remind the people you worship with on Sundays. Some forget, and it's not our habit yet. It's just not one of our habits yet.
Not yet.
So. We do a lot of things here. And if I ask you what you did, you would list them. You would say, I bring food to the food bank, I bring food to the community meal, I come on Thursdays and set the table, I help with Sunday school, I sing, I worship, I serve. Because we as a body are really great at doing. We're busy doing all the time. And as Americans, we are busy overdoing much of the time. We aren't good at doing nothing. When I worked at a manufacturing company, we would get a notice about the end of June that said, if you need something from us, these were European countries, you better be telling us now because in August we're done. Everybody goes home for a month, everybody gets paid, but everybody goes home, and it takes us 2 weeks in September to ramp back up.
We don't even take a siesta.
Yeah, take a break, right.
I mean, when I was in Europe, dinner was about 10 or 11 o'clock at night because they took the afternoon off.
So we are workaholics, and we are playaholics too. Because when we get up from our desk or our cubicle or our office, we say to our co-workers on Friday, what are you doing this weekend? We might even say every day as we leave, what are you doing tonight?
And then we compare.
Oh, I might do nothing. Really? You're going to do nothing? Where'd you go on vacation?
And one of them.
Oh, I was supposed to say Atlanta. And we did this and this and this and this. And then we're going to go rock climbing and hang gliding. So, you know, we're busy.
Need a vacation from vacation.
Busy people. We're addicted to work and we're addicted to play. And Moses was even addicted. His father-in-law said this to him.
To set the scene, Moses has led the people of Israel out of Egypt and slavery, and he arrives back at that place where he lived temporarily. He got married, had some kids, in the Sinai desert. His father-in-law's name is Jethro. And he's arrived basically back home with, maybe a couple 100,000 people with him. Guess who's coming to dinner? So he arrives home, and then the next day, Moses took his place to judge the people. People were standing before him all day long, from morning to night. When Moses' father-in-law, Jethro, saw all that he was doing for the people, he said, "What's going on here? Why are you doing all this, and all by yourself, letting everybody line up before you from morning to night?" And Moses said to Jethro, "Because the people come to me with questions about God. When something comes up, they come to me. I judge between a man and his neighbor and teach them God's laws and instructions." Moses, his father-in-law, said, "This is no way to go about it. You'll burn out, and the people right along with you. This is way too much for you. You can't do this alone. Now listen to me. Let me tell you how to do this so that God will be in this with you. Be there for the people before God, but let the matters of concern be presented to God. Your job is to teach them the rules and instructions, to show them how to live, what to do, and then you need to keep a sharp eye out for competent men. He meant women too. Sure. Men who fear God. Men and women who fear God. Men and women of integrity. Men and women who are incorruptible. And appoint them as leaders over groups, organized by the 1,000, by the 100, by the 50, and by 10. They'll be responsible for the everyday work of judging among the people. They'll bring the hard cases to you, but in the routine cases, they'll all be judges. They will share your load, and that will make it easier for you. If you handle the work this way, you'll have the strength to carry out whatever God commands you. And the people in their settings will flourish also.
Moses had a little eye trouble. They come to me and I will fix it. I have to do it all. I have to do all the work. I remember when Tom was getting ready to retire. And you know, when you're going to leave someplace, you're kind of worried about your clients, your patients, who's going to take care of them, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. And his brother said to him, take a pan of water, a bucket, stick your hand in it, and take your hand out. What do you see? We think we're really important. You know, we think, I was talking with my daughter earlier this week and she's like, I'm not very good at delegating, Mom. I can give people a job, but I know they can't do it as well as I can. Or the way that I want them to do it. And it'll be done, and it'll be all right, but I'm kind of a control freak.
Really?
I don't know where she gets that.
I don't know where she gets that.
And because we've been
Not for
talking,
Tom.
we've been talking about this, I said, little girl, when you are in control all the time, when you are not delegating and giving someone else a chance, you are denying them the opportunity to flourish in serving each other and in serving God. Is that what Jethro said to Moses?
Yeah.
You are denying other people the opportunity to serve also when you have to do it all. And by the way, it's not good for you. You can't do it forever. You're going to burn out. You're going to walk away. So when we need to be doing everything all the time our way, it doesn't work for very long. Sabbath is an opportunity to step back and say, I'm just not going to do anything today. I'm just going to do only those things which bring me joy and give God a chance to talk and me a chance to listen. One of the women that we've been looking at as we studied Sabbath is a Presbyterian pastor named Marcy Glass. She says this: the important reminder of salvation for me is Sabbath. It is a reminder that the salvation of the world and the success of the church is not dependent on me. None of it. I can stop working and the world will go on. It's both humbling and liberating. Burnout is real. We could probably all confess that. We've all been there, done that. Stan has a t-shirt.
I have a t-shirt. Yeah.
So we need to take a break and get a fresh start, maybe.
God created Sabbath for us. See, God doesn't get tired. God wasn't tired. God didn't have to stop. God created Sabbath as the last act. creation for our sake. It doesn't say God got tired and rested. It said on the seventh day God rested because we needed to learn to rest. It's the rhythm of life is rest. There's rest between each heartbeat. There's rest between the inhale and the exhale when you breathe. We were created to rest. And God created the Sabbath for humans, not humans to obey and do all the Sabbath rules. In fact, Jesus said that. He said it clearly. I mean, he didn't tell a story, he didn't do a parable. Well, it's up on the screen, isn't it? Okay. The Sabbath was made for the needs of human beings and not the other way around. He really said that, and he really meant it. Because the Pharisees were saying, you're breaking Sabbath rules. Oh. You don't understand. God created the Sabbath for people, not people to obey the rules of the Sabbath. Okay. The last act of God's creation was to create time for recreation. Recreation is the way it is. That's the last act of God's creation, was to create time. You see, time isn't a line to God. We call it the circle of life. You never stop going around the circle, so you gotta rest. You gotta rest. It was built in to creation. And Jesus practiced what he preached. And guess what? He practiced it when he got tired. And it didn't matter whether that happened to be on the Jewish Sabbath or not. You know, they have a different Sabbath day, but it didn't matter. Whatever day it was, Jesus just took a break. It's going to be up there too, isn't it? Okay. Good. They've been so busy, healing, teaching. The apostles are just laid out. Man, they are tired. Jesus takes one look at them, and that's what he said. Come up by yourself. Let's take a break. Get a little rest. That's exactly what he said. Take a break. Get a little rest. In the book Sabbath, another book we've been reading about this by Wayne Mueller, Wayne addresses particularly the American culture, but of course we've been nice enough to export it to Japan, a couple other places. Our culture invariably supposes that action and accomplishment are better than rest. That doing something, anything, is better than doing nothing. Most cultures are not like that. We have a work ethic. Most cultures have a work ethic and a rest ethic. We don't have a rest ethic. We're just going to work ourselves to death. I think what we really need to do is work on resting.
Work on resting. No, but if you say you're doing nothing, people think you're a little weird. What's the matter with them? They're doing nothing.
Okay, I'll be odd.
They're supposed to be making a living.
I'll be odd for God.
The heck with making a life. I need to make a living. But Anna Quindlen said at a commencement exercise not too long ago, the best advice I can give you graduates is pretty simple. Get a life. Get a real life. Not a manic pursuit of the next promotion, the bigger paycheck, the larger house. Do you think you'd care so very much about those things if you developed an aneurysm one afternoon or found a lump in your breast while taking a shower? Do you think all those other things would be important?
Get a life where there's time to sit beside the lake and actually notice the eagle in the tree, or the way the wind blows across the surface of the water and ripples it, or the fish tank. or the osprey fishing, or the colors of the sky. Get a life where there's time. Get a life where there's time to watch Alice grow up and discover her toes and fingers. Or, just watch a baby or even a puppy.
Puppy?
Watch them discover life. Just take the time to do that. Get a life with a little time in it.
Make time. Turn off your phone. Turn off your computer. Take time to do nothing.
I recommend turning off the TV too.
Turn off the TV. Turn off your car radio. Just turn off. Do it tomorrow. Don't wait. Don't say, maybe next week I'll take time. Do it tomorrow. Turn off.